Good morning, everyone. First things first, how is the audio? I have to check if the audio is fine. Let me check. How is... It seems fine. It's good. Yay! How's everyone doing? Welcome in to the last scoop of the week. How are we all doing? Is everyone in the chat? Is everyone good? If everyone has been here for a while, you may have heard the starting infomercial, start and then stop, and then start and then stop, because I had all of the issues with tech, but we've, as usual, but we fixed it. We think. How is everyone doing? If you're in the chat, please feel free to say hello. If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. This is Bib, and together we are Ice Cream Uploads, and this, in true ice creamy fashion, is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. How's things, Bib?
Yes, it is fantastic. I am ready for the first article today.
Do you know what it's going to be? Does anyone know what it's going to be? What did we say we were never going to talk about again, but then spoke about for a little bit yesterday?
It's your fault. It's genuinely your fault. You said in before we start talking about it before the end of the week again.
Yeah, I did. My bad. For anyone that doesn't know, it's Cyberpunk, but we'll jump onto that shortly. Thomas Adam says, hello, we talking about Cyberpunk today? We are. Maybe, as we said in the build-up. He said he woke up to it this morning, seeing that they're taking it off the PlayStation Store, and finally got my refund. Well, that is what the headline story is going to be. You will have seen it if you've seen the tweets that we've put out already. But not just that story, we have a few other stories to go through. We're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on those, the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, and want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you are live here right now in the Twitch chat, we go live each and every single weekday at twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, and we go live at around 10 a.m. ish, which is actually fairly close. It's pre half 10. Yes. Nice. But anyway, if you're in the chat, please feel free to use your voice, and it's important that you do, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you are in the chat, please feel free to use your voice on behalf of everyone watching and listening on demand a little bit later on. But before we do jump into the news, we have a couple of talking points. The first one hasn't been announced yet, but ! loot drop. We do a monthly giveaway for one of our subscribers. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, you will get a giveaway. The reason I mention this, even though we haven't announced what the next month's loot drop is going to be, is because Enix was kind enough to give 10 subs away yesterday. So 10 people have been gifted subs to Ice Cream Uploads that may not know that they have the potential to win a prize by being a sub. If your sub's free and paid for by someone else, for that month, you get an entry to the loot drop for free. So just mentioning that now. That will be drawn on the first Monday of January, which I believe is the 4th. Excuse me.
Yes, it is. Is that the first day back in the office for us?
Yeah. Well, not for me, but yeah. Hey, Greg gets more time off. Woo!
I'm off on a Friday. Hey!
We're doing like a ship's passing in the night on the Thursday, and then you go off on the Friday.
There'll be a lot of dollops that week, I'm telling you now.
Anyway, speaking of dollops, Gary's here. Hey! Good morning, Gary.
Morning, Jagger.
Morning, Gagad. Palmer says, how are you doing, Graham? I'm okay. I'm still not quite 100%, but I'm good. I've got one day left before Christmas, and so it's all good. So today's is basically Skivey Friday, the Friday before Christmas, where everyone pretends like they're doing loads of work. So yeah, we'll finish the scoop, play some Fortnite, and that's pretty much it. Nice. Morning, Gagada. Morning, Madge. Cyberpunk news hype. Bibby will be over the moon. The scoop incorporating the dollop. Morning, Shaggers. Says Gary. Mr. T says Wagwan. Thank you very much for loot dropping in the chat as well, Madge. Much appreciated. What was last month's loot drop again? It was a PC only game. Well, it is at the moment. I'm wrapping Christmas presents, says Gary, while listening to you two Shaggers. What a time to be alive. Well, I'm allowed back out of the house again today. I haven't. I have a bag, like a hole all down at the side of me that's got Danielle's presents and stuff in. Because I haven't finished my shopping. I have to get a few more bits. Danielle's listening, so I can't say too much. But my wrapping will probably start this weekend. I think I've got a good chunk of stuff there. Just need to get some last minute bits. Well, it wouldn't have been last minute. It would have been like 2 weeks ago, but the Rona. Does the winner of Cyberpunk get a refund too? Well, the winner of Cyberpunk is Gagad, and he got it on PC, so no.
No refunds. It's a Microsoft exclusive at this moment in time, so
sold
very limited
edition. Actually, sold as seen doesn't count because on PlayStation you didn't get to see it. That's the point. Damn. Anyway, speaking of PlayStation and Cyberpunk, let's jump straight into that. Clearly, we all know what we're talking about, so let's jump straight in. Let's start the split screen first. Okay, first news article of the day is this one. Written by Dom Peppiatt at VG247, it says Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS4 has been pulled from the PlayStation Store and Sony is offering full refunds. Cyberpunk 2077 owners that purchased CD Projekt Red's RPG on PS4 are digitally being offered a full refund. Sony Interactive Entertainment has officially announced that it will offer refunds for the PlayStation 4 version of Cyberpunk 2077. This comes after developer CD Projekt Red conceded that it didn't spend enough time on Cyberpunk 2077 PS4 and Xbox One performance. Earlier this week, Sony was accused of not refunding players that were unsatisfied with the RPG's performance on last-gen consoles, despite clear performance issues ahead of the PS4 and Xbox One patches that are apparently due to land in the game at the start of 2021. SIE strives to ensure a high level of customer satisfaction. Therefore, we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store, Sony writes on its site. SIE will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store until further notice. This is a pretty big deal. To offer refunds is one thing, but to fully remove a game from its store is a different statement entirely. Once we have confirmed that you have purchased for Cyberpunk 2077 via the PlayStation Store, we will begin processing your refund. Please note that completion of the refund may vary based on your payment method and financial institution. We already know that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the game are shockingly buggy. Sony's statement does not suggest a timeline as to when the game will be listed as available on the PS4 in the future. CD Projekt has also asked fans to be patient as it continues to work on fixes for the game on all platforms. The developer promised 2 major patches for consoles that are due to arrive in January and February after conceding that it didn't spend enough time on Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS4 and Xbox One's performance. These updates are touted to bring the PS4 and Xbox One ports to the standard of PC and next gen. Update! CD Projekt Red has responded to the news on Twitter, confirming the removal. Interestingly, the company still encourages players that they can buy the game at brick and mortar stores. It also notes the team is working hard to bring the game back to the PlayStation Store. I'll read through that article in a minute. Have you heard that article? That tweet in a minute. Have you read through their tweet yet, babe?
Yes, I did. I have read it this morning. Yeah, I did. I had to think about that then. There were so many different conflicting stuff because I had this sent to me, sent to us, by Shogun at like 1:15, and then I was speaking to Jordan at like 2:15, and then when I woke up this morning, it snowballed into something bigger. But yes, I have read it.
Ice cream.
West says, wow, that really was 10 a.m.-ish. GG, boys. 10:10. Nice. Thank you very much for the host as well, dude. Much appreciated. Geeky Online as well 3 hours ago before we went live. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated.
Anticipate.
I'm going to just bring this article back on screen. Actually, I'll bring the tweet on screen because I did see this tweet earlier on. I'm not a fan of this tweet. There's a lot of things that CD Projekt Red have done that I'm not a fan of. I'm still hopeful for Cyberpunk eventually, but I'm not a fan of this tweet. So this says, following our discussion with PlayStation, a decision was made to temporarily suspend digital distribution of Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation Store. Okay, that's fine. You can still buy physical versions of the game in brick and mortar stores and online, which is basically them saying, I'll stop that for a second there. Okay, the game isn't good enough to be sold digitally via PlayStation, so we've decided a decision was made. That the way that they've said that is like following our discussion, a decision was made. It almost seems like we've decided together that we're not going to sell this game. But then you can clearly tell by the next line, but they're saying, actually, if you still want to buy the game that we want you to buy, though, you can buy it online and from brick and mortar stores as long as you buy the physical copy. So it's just like, well, what? Why? Okay, you clearly don't want to stop selling this game. That's fine. Okay, all purchased digital and physical copies of the game will continue to receive support and updates as we continue to improve your experience. Okay, that's fine. According to our knowledge, starting today, Everyone who is not willing to wait for updates and wants to refund their digital copy of the game can do so by submitting a request at a link. We are working hard to bring Cyberpunk back to the PlayStation Store as soon as possible. That sounds like a proper shitty message for me. That is the worst message out of all of the messages that they've put out for me. They agree that it was fine to be pulled from the PlayStation Store because they have no power over that. They are still urging people to buy it, and then they're saying that if you want your money back, it's not because the game's not good enough, it's because you are not willing to wait for updates. That is bad. That's shifting the blame for the poor experiences players are having onto the players, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I'm all for sitting this out. I want to play this game. I will play this game. I wanted to play it on console. I mean, I may still play it on console. Obviously, CD Projekt Red and most people that have played the game will tell you that PC is the place to be. I mean, Mr. T has been loving life playing it on PC. So if you want to play the game, play it on PC, fine. But shifting that blame onto the users is not. That's not good. That's not good. That is bad. That is, forget not good. That is just not what you do. If you, this is a brand that is very pro consumer, or has at least built itself up to be that. As far as I was aware, it was. That is not pro consumer. That is 100% board level conversation, and that is not good. That is bad. That's bad. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, my stance is still the same as it was last week and earlier on this week regarding this. This game works pretty well. We'll say pretty well on PC. I've said this a million times. You're all going to hear it again. I've played a lot of shit games where it crashes, it's buggy, textures are just all over the place. And I'm going to bear it. I'll play through it. I'll enjoy it if, again, the storyline's good and the performance is there. But on I'm lucky enough to have a PlayStation 5 now. So if I was to play this game now, I would run into less issues than what would happen on a base PlayStation 4. I still have one of those. I've lent it to my friend so we could play PGA together. But I would be playing it on my PS5, so I would therefore run into less issues than normal people. There is 111 million PlayStation 4s out there. I don't know how well this game sold on those consoles. Apparently, it was like 60% digital in terms of picking this up rather than physical. Obviously, because what we're in now, people can't go to the shop. Game wasn't even open for half the year. But most of them are digital. That's the age that we're living in. They're obviously being able to get refunds on this now, which is cool. But they kind of pushed PlayStation into a corner with stuff like that. Like, I read a tweet yesterday saying we didn't even know that PlayStation had a refund policy on the via the store until this game came out. Cyberpunk said if you want a refund, go over there and they'll give you a refund. So now we know that you can get refunds on PlayStation. That's kind of put them into a corner as well. But
kind of. That's the way it works. But Thomas Adam tried it, and they weren't having any of it until they decided to do it across the board. So,
well, it's a lot of people obviously are having a really good experience with it on PC. And if there was if they did want to play this PC and if they did want to play this game and I had the choice, and my PC was of the standard that my PlayStation 5 is, just obviously a little bit better, then I probably would play it on PC. That's clearly where the fun is. I still seriously want to play this game, even in its state, even if it looked like shit, as long as it didn't crash and stuff like that, and it was a buggy mess, I would actually still play this game. The graphics to me are neither here nor there. I don't really give a shit about them. Again, as long as the story's good and the performance and the gameplay works, that's fine for me. I will play whatever, as long as it's got those two key things. But performance-wise, it just doesn't seem to be playing on the PlayStation. There's 111 million PlayStation 4 base PlayStation 4s out there. That is the majority market. This game was meant to come out in April on the base PlayStation 4, and obviously for PlayStation 4 Pro as well. So
it was meant to come out before we'd even seen the PS5.
Yeah, and that's the excuse that I see everyone keep on using. Like, this is what do you expect?
It's an next-gen game.
What the fuck has that got to do with it? This game was meant to come out in April when the base PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro was the only consoles that they had in the PlayStation ecosystem. So that argument for me is already flawed. It's someone somewhere has said that and people have just ran with it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Thinking about it,
I don't think that's a Cyberpunk like CD Projekt thing. I think that is like video gamers are some of the most horrendously elitist people in the world, and it's the fanboyism. It's the Sony fanboys and the Xbox fanboys and the PC Master Race fanboys kind of thing. They all judge each other and blame each other. Well, it's your fault for buying it on the PS4. Well, I've got it on a PC and it's wonderful. So that's great, and it is great that it's wonderful on the PC. But it shouldn't mean that just because I've not got the equivalent of a next-gen console in a PC or a next-gen console, and I'm playing on the last gen, doesn't mean that it shouldn't work. You show me the next-gen console version of Cyberpunk right now. You can't. The version that you play on the PS5 is last gen. They've told you that. The next gen updates aren't coming until next year. So by definition, the game that I am playing is a last gen game on a last gen console. And if that doesn't work, then that's a problem. That is a fault. It's not my fault as a user trying to play a game that they've released for my system on my system. It's literally the purpose that it was built for. If it doesn't work, it's not my fault as a consumer. It's yours, and that's what. Well, I think that's the most frustrating thing about this last message from CD Projekt Red about the. For those that aren't willing to wait for updates, that's the same message. That's almost that elitist. Well, we're fine. You're the problem. It's that sort of like PC Master Race shouting at consoles angle, but from CD Projekt Red shouting at consoles now. Okay, if you don't want to play, if you don't want to wait, whatever. I'm not bothered. I mean, I'll give you your money back if you want, but I know it's going to be really cool. But if you don't want to wait, it's fine. If you don't want to, I mean, if you still want to buy it, you can buy it from Game Online and get it posted to you. But if you don't want to wait, whatever, it's up to you. Whatever. It's that sort of like stroppy little biatch mentality. Get out.
It is unfortunate. I mean, there's probably a lot of us in here that have either played it or maybe have it in the stocking or under the tree for Christmas. Who knows? But this is definitely a game that I will be picking up at some point. I will probably wait for the PlayStation 5 patch to come out again. If I had the choice and I had a PC capable of playing this at Ultra, then that would be great. But the thing that I don't get is there is better looking PlayStation 4 games out there than this. Like, how did that come about? How did the textures just get so dumbed down? Like, again, I don't want to retread old ground, but this game was meant to come out on the PlayStation 4, and it doesn't look like a PlayStation 4 game. It doesn't. The resolution and the textures and everything just doesn't. It looks like a mid-gen PS3 game in most instances on the console. Now that will be either because there is a lot of people in a certain area, so it just can't hold the frame rate. I read something on Reddit that said to increase the frame rate by 10%, if you are in a busy city centre, fire your gun in the air. The people run off, and then the frame rate will go back up again. Obviously, that is absolute banter.
Did you see videos of it? Did you see the video of it?
Yeah, they just disappear.
It shoots, turns around, turns back, and the street is just empty like a ghost town. Well, that's fixed the frame rate. I mean, ruined the immersion, but fixed the frame rate.
I posted a tweet out the other day saying the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Fallout New Vegas, Elder Scrolls Online, Destiny 1, No Man's Sky, Diablo 3, Days Gone, or Final Fantasy 14. Games that were absolutely hammered at launch, but went on to be critically adored after a lot of tweaking and patches. It's over to you, Cyberpunk. That still is where we stand. That tweet is now 3 days old, and since then the game's been pulled from the PlayStation Marketplace. Like, these are games that didn't necessarily absolutely bomb at launch, but there was like 4 or 5s, and then obviously after tweaks they ended up being 9s and 10s. The Oblivion is one of the most adored games of all time. Ask anyone who's an Elder Scrolls fan, and I can guarantee it'll either be Morrowind or Oblivion. Obviously Skyrim comes into the equation ish now because it's on absolutely everything, but Oblivion will always be the greatest Elder Scrolls game. I'm sorry, but Destiny 1 was an absolute shit show at launch. There was fuck all to do. You couldn't even get into the map. Same with Diablo 3. Blizzard went down for like 2 weeks. You couldn't even get into the game. Days Gone, obviously, we've talked about that recently, but No Man's Sky is probably the biggest one that comes out of this list. That game, for around about 3 years, was I don't want to say a disaster. Well, yeah, it was a disaster. It was in bargain bins within about a month of it coming out. But now look at it; it's one of the most thriving community games that there is probably out there. The Hello Games have done so well to try and bring back their old audience that they lost and brand new audiences along with it. That is the way to be able to do it. And I hope to God, as someone who is still a fan of CD Projekt Red, there is no way that I'm ever going to fall out of love with them. Why should I? I mean, you've got a badly optimized game on an old console, oldish console now, but you've still got all the time in the world to be able to patch it. I feel sorry for the devs that are having to put up with this shit, because I can pretty much guarantee you there will be a lot of people in a room saying this is not fit for purpose. But the people at the very top are saying we need to get this fucking game out now. We've had people pre-ordering it. We've delayed it 3 times. This needs to go now. And they're like, push the red button and see what the fuck happens. The red button's been pushed, and my God, has the world gone to shit over it?
It's horrendous that such a good legacy has been tarnished. The Witcher TV series a year ago, we were all sat down singing about tossing coins. What a different world we were in back then. Fucking hell. So a year ago, everything looked incredible for CD Projekt Red. They've just had success on The Witcher, off the back of The Witcher 3. Cyberpunk was huge, this behemoth that we were all super excited for. And now, as a result of it, just has to be greed. And when I say greed, I still believe there was a comment somewhere. Where was it? It was from Gary. Oh, chat's moving fast. CD Projekt aren't as prosumer as people think they are. This shows it. Yeah, I think the business itself is definitely still pro-consumer in general. But this shows that the people that make the decisions aren't necessarily those people. The people that make the ultimate sign-offs. I mean, if you were pro-consumer, you just would not get to the point where your game is so bad that it gets pulled from PlayStation entirely. That is not pro-consumer. That is pro-profit. And yeah, there's a clear thing there. I want to jump back up because there was a lot of comments. Tito says, "God damn it, where was my notification? You chaps went live. Surprised me with the early stream." And then I did see the other comment come in and say, "There we go, 2 minutes ago. Finally got my notification." So hey, we talking about Cyberpunk for a change? We are, yeah. Just for a change. Mr. T says, actually, before we get to that show, says, Sheg. I'm assuming that's me. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Asim says, this must have been aggressively discussed as it hurts PlayStation 2. They get a cut of the sales. They didn't want the negative PR, I would guess. Either way, wow. Never seen anything like. The right thing when it comes to consoles versions, I imagine Xbox will follow suit. I mean, that'll be interesting as well. I mean...
That's a tough rope to walk though, isn't it? Because they've obviously got Microsoft have got the PC version to a degree. At the moment, it's kind of a Microsoft exclusive if they want to run down that path. If you're able to play it on PC and play it on Xbox.
I mean, but, was Cyberpunk? I'm fairly sure Cyberpunk had got into bed with Xbox as well, and play it on the all new Xbox Series X, tags at the end of the trailers. So. I imagine Xbox have invested heavily in that, so if they pull it, that's not a pretty situation. If that is the case, I'm fairly sure with that. I don't know whether it was an exclusive thing, but definitely on Twitch ads, you'll get the Billie Eilish bad guy adverts that finish with the play it on the all new Xbox Series X. If they have to pull that, Xbox are well out of pocket, and there's potential lawsuits there. If not, it's give us something to make it sweet down the line sort of situation. Proper passive-aggressive statement by CD Projekt Red, says Magic Man. Right, shitty. Absolutely. Horrendously shitty, that statement. That statement is the single worst bit of wording that I've seen come out of them. It shows ignorance and expectance. I'm going to read it again. So following our discussion with PlayStation, a decision was made to temporarily suspend digital distribution of Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store. Fine. This sounds like do you know what? We fucked up, but we believe that we have a game that you will love, and we're going to make this right for you. That's where they need to go. Instead, you can still buy physical versions of the game in brick and mortar stores and online. Yeah. So we've just reached the fact that it's not good enough, but we can still buy it if you want, but you can buy it, it's there for you. All purchased digital and physical copies of the game will receive support and updates as we continue to improve your experience. Okay, that's fine. If you are going to buy it, then yeah, you will get support. According to our knowledge, which is bizarre. Okay. Starting today, everyone who is not willing to wait for updates and wants to refund their digital copy of the game can do so by submitting a request at PlayStation.com/Cyberpunk2077 refunds. It's according to our knowledge starting today, so we don't really know, but as far as we're aware starting today, PlayStation are allowing you to get your money back. It's just so badly written. So badly written. I mean, this Cyberpunk logo, yellow background, CD Projekt Red logo, and text in the middle is already a meme. And it was a fun meme. It was a meme that people had leaned into as like, oh shit, here we go again. Like CJ from San Andreas. Oh, we've got another delay sort of meme. Now it's a completely different thing. I like the meme. I leaned into the meme. I hate that style now because that style just says something completely different to me now, which I didn't expect that. I did not expect that.
See, again, this comes down to the things that I was saying earlier in the week when it comes to Cyberpunk. Like, I couldn't give a pass to Fallout 76 or the Elder Scrolls Online or Oblivion or anyone else, and they're franchises that I absolutely give a shit about. They're ones that I've grown up with, that I've come to adore, that I've played the living shit out of all of those games. Obviously, not Fallout 76, but the Fallout franchise, they're franchises that I care about. Why should I care about a franchise and give a pass to this when I have no affiliation to it whatsoever? There's only been a Cyberpunk book and a board game, as far as I'm aware. This is the first game that they've actually got coming out. So why should I give this a pass, but not the games that I actually care about?
Yeah.
And that's ultimately where my decision making has come from. This I can give it a pass if I know at some point they are going to start to work it out, and they are going to get down that road. But as it stands, I think there's too much on the other side of it. So like not giving out review codes on the older gen consoles, that's sketchy, and I can't fuck with that at all.
If one of those happens, you're like, okay, fair enough. Two of those happens, you're like, all right then, fair enough. By the time you got to this point, you're like, okay, my god, you are taking the piss now.
Yeah.
Because one or two things you can forgive. Okay, it's a human error, or it's a bit of a mistake, or it's a knee-jerk reaction, or you're just trying to do the best for yourselves and everyone else, and it's been a shitty year, but by the time you get to this point, it's just like, okay, you've continuously made the wrong decisions again and again and again and again and again. You can't just expect people to help you when you're not going to help yourselves in that sort of situation. So
with a game like this, it had to be transparent, didn't it? Like, I know we talk about transparency in video games a lot, but this is probably the biggest heartbreak, I think, for a lot of gamers. This was meant to be the game that defined. This is the game that meant to come out on the last generation. It was meant to be one of the top tier ending of console cycle games. It was meant to be the game of the generation, and unfortunately it's not delivered that. And not only have they not delivered it, they've left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, including now PlayStation, who are having to pay out all the people's refunds. So I have no idea how they're going to get their money back from this, if they're already giving people refunds, because I imagine people who get them refunds, that money isn't going back into their account. That money is going on another game that's going to be coming out, or one that they've already had on the wish list, or whatever sale is going to be happening on Boxing Day, or whatever the fuck. So that money, 50 quid, 60 quid, or whatever it was, is just going to sit in the person's wallet in the console store and go on something else. So that money is going to get recycled within PlayStation somewhere. But this, I think, has left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths on a console, meant to be a console-defining generation of a game.
Chappers says pish. Thank you very much for the 7-month sub, Chappers. Pish, appreciate it. And Pirate 11 minutes ago, thank you very much for the host as well. Cheers, Pirate. I love you, man. I can see them salvaging this in PlayStation's eyes with, I mean, another thing that was quite annoying yesterday is that the game is pretty much unplayable on consoles. And as you'd expect, they continued with their normal marketing campaign. So yesterday, some content specific for PC players came out. Was it Death Stranding crossovers or Death Stranding PC players? Or I can't remember. There was a Death Stranding crossover anyway, which is fine. If you've built in a crossover with another brand, that's time and effort. You've got to release that stuff. But it's just by chance that it's a PC only thing when all the issues are circulating around the way that they are treating or not treating console players, as they've openly said they did not put enough time into it, which is the reason why it's been pulled. So you can't blame them for progressing with their plan. You kind of have to progress with some level of normality and try to stay the course. But yeah, I imagine something like that is how they salvage PlayStation going forward. There needs to be something different, something PlayStation specific, that when the game does come out that they have, and not just the shit skin. Oh yeah, look, here's a skin. Great. No, I'm not asked. It needs to be something better. There needs to be something, be it in-game content, be it a new vehicle or whatever it is. I've not played the game, so I can't really give suggestions on what, but there needs to be something that bridges at least some of the gap. I mean, having the fully working game bridges a lot of the gap, but doing something else that takes that to the next level, that's kind of where they need to go. And that kind of stuff, almost the apology package, because if you look at No Man's Sky and Hello Games, that fucked up. The difference for me, though, is I don't see them having as easy a job. Not that it was easy for No Man's Sky to come back from the ashes like Phoenix from the flames. No Man's Sky and Hello Games weren't CD Projekt Red. No Man's Sky and Hello Games weren't sat off the back of one of the most enjoyed and anticipated series on Netflix and fucking Game of the Year winning Witcher 3 and stuff like that. These were already on a pedestal. They've already had their success, so people are waiting for them to fall. So it's going to be more difficult for them to have the Phoenix rise from these flames. But if they manage it and do something extra, I can see them sorting it out. It's just not going to be the legacy game that everyone expected it would be.
Absolutely. It's going to be I think they've got a very, very busy 12 months ahead of them. And I honest to God, and I mean this I genuinely mean this, I hope to God that they do end up turning it around, because it is a game that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I haven't obviously played it yet. And again, this is all coming from information that we've been passed, information that's been taken from the billions of articles that have been written about this game and the YouTube videos that have also been created. So I am looking forward to playing this. I think I will be giving it a go when it comes out on the PlayStation 5. I can absolutely see the new gen consoles of this being delayed now. I think they will be trying to put right the biggest install base that they've got, which is 111 million in the base PlayStations. Try to put their game right first before moving on to the PlayStation 5 game, because why would you want to say we've got a next gen version of the game when no one has? Well, I'd say no one, obviously we have them, but the consoles that are out now for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S are a drop in the ocean compared to what's already out there. So go for the bigger audience first, look after them, then move over to the PlayStation. If we can wait, I'm more than happy to wait now, because I know I won't be playing it beforehand. I may end up getting this for Christmas. It may be under the tree now. I don't think I'll be probably playing it until the middle of next year, or whenever it is that they decide to bring out the new gen consoles.
Yeah, it could be under my tree as well, to be fair, because it's a game that I wanted. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah. No, I agree. They need to fix the current gen before they move on to the next gen. Well, they do, because if they want to start selling it again, they need to fix the current gen before they can start moving on to the next gen. So I think that will help them give it a little bit more urgency, because if the devs and all the people that have to go through all the shit, they're sat there, and they've probably been sat there for months going, it's crap. It's literally not playable. It's not good enough. And then the guys with the monies are going, I don't care. The forecasts are shitloads, baby. Yeah. So now the guys with the money are just sat there flicking their OneNote now going, okay, so what we saying? It doesn't play. How do we fix that? Okay, now the devs are probably pushed. I mean, they've probably been back on it already for the last week or two. If not already, they definitely are now. So yeah, it will get a lot of work onto it, no doubt. And I can't see it being off
the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, it's not a shitty crunch situation, because that's what we had leading up to this. Conversations left, right, and centre. And yeah, it could be a conversation we jump back into. And I've just shit myself as Pirate drops 50 bits. Cheers, Pirate. Hey. Jumping back into the comments, Asim says, it's a shame playing it on PC and not having almost finished it. There's an incredible game there. So many incredible moments. Just wasn't ready to go on consoles. Needed a delay. I feel sorry for the many hardworking devs / people who put years of their lives into this, only to be done dirty by leadership. It's horrendous. Yeah. I mean, no doubt, most people that have Mr. Tharian Drake with the raid. Hey!
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much, dude. Welcoming everyone from Tharian Stream. How are we all doing? Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people from the UK games industry, we all usually know at least one person from CD Projekt Red. I mean, anyone that's worked in social media for UK brands in the last 10 years will obviously know Holly Bennett, but then no doubt the industry talks, people will probably know other people that work at CD Projekt Red across many different levels. And we will all feel a little bit of like shittiness for those people, because these people, none of them will be the people that make the budget decisions. These will be people that are working on a game that they've been hyped about, let alone how hard they've worked on their own work. Imagine working on something that you've been hyped about seeing for years, and then when your project finally hits the world, it's a sack of shit. Imagine how gutting that must be for all of those people at different levels. So yeah, I mean, we all, whether we know people or not, it's shit for the people that have had to deal with this, and hopefully the management stand by them and do them right, because it's a shit situation to be in. Wes says, I'm a day one PUBG console player. I can cope with bugs, crashes, issues anyone could throw at me. That's true. The thing is, that is a very good example, but you paid 19 quid for that game, and you got to see it before it came out long time, and it was then in beta when it was released. So, I mean, yeah, the bugs still continued past version 1.0, but the point was that it was, you weren't paying full price for a market leading game at that point. It was a market leading game, but you know what I mean, not a blockbuster kind of thing. Tito says, another example of financially led decision making. I honestly think pre-orders put too much pressure on game devs. That and game expos. Hype is a two-way thing, but you know more about that than I, Asim Tanvir. David says, it's a next-gen game. Unfortunately, that next-gen is the PS6. CD Projekt Red, and I've read that bit actually. Magic Man says, it sadly hammers home the argument to never pre-order a game even more. Tito says, in a digital world, I truly don't understand pre-ordering. Pirate says, I just got lost in the Cyberpunk Reddit, it's just too funny. KC Dice says, I pre-ordered so I could pre-install it. See, I don't mind the ideas of pre-orders. I like the ideas of pre-orders still. There's still definitely a function for pre-ordering. Pre-ordering allows you to make sure that your money is safely placed, your order is pre-ordered, you have it pre-installed, and you are good to go.
Securing your copy, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. There's a number of different functional things there, even in a digital world. So I don't necessarily mind the idea of pre-orders. I don't pre-order much, if I'm honest, but I don't mind the idea of it. There's definitely logic there, and that's not even leaning into the retail guarantee and sale stuff that the brands want as well. It's just I don't believe that pre-orders and extra pressure need to be something that is linked. I just believe that that's poor management. If you have a pre-order and that pre-order puts extra pressure on you, that means you're struggling to deliver, then your management is wrong, not the pre-order process, because pre-orders has been a thing for 30 years now, maybe longer. So yeah, if pre-orders are making you mess up, then you're probably gonna mess up anyway. So you need to look at your own stuff. I was on that launch with Destiny. Not good experience, to put it mildly. Diablo 3 launching with the horrendous real money shop. What? The real money shop? I don't know this. Shaw says they left Easter eggs in the game about it being unfinished and rushed out. Is that true, or is this? I can't tell if you're just talking about the way the game actually plays. I don't know. Asim says, I think that's harsh. I think they are, but in this instance, the leadership have got it utterly wrong. They wanted it out for the holiday period and underestimated the state of console versions. That's totally on them and wrong. I wouldn't dump it on them and say they aren't pro-consumer now. They messed up for sure and are paying for it. They also need to be given the chance to make it right. Yeah, I hope they do. I believe both sides of that. I believe Gary is right in what he's saying. It obviously maybe a little sensational list to say that they aren't pro-consumer, because they have made a lot of good pro-consumer decisions over the last few years. The way that they've treated their back catalogue and lowering prices of The Witcher and stuff to make it more accessible and so on. They definitely have pro-consumer undertones, but they also definitely have anti-consumer and pro-business undertones, and that's, any business could have that in theory. Any business can be pro-consumer and want to make as much money as they possibly can. Those two things, though, often conflict. And I'm not against a business that leans more towards the profit and then more towards the consumer and then more towards the profit. Sometimes you may have to lean further one way to keep the business afloat, to keep yourself pro-consumer. It's just when you've made so many decisions in quick succession, then it's natural to ask, okay, are they as pro-consumer as I want them to be? The staff there probably are. Some of their decision makers, they may be. For all we know, they may still be hugely pro-consumer. They may just have so much sunk into this that all of their decisions have to be pro-profit because maybe Keanu Reeves is just 72 bajillion pounds and they need to pay just the Johnny Silverhand fee. Who knows? Why harm was more delay, that they should have just done that. I'd rather have waited for than have a broken game, says Thomas. Yeah, exactly. Hindsight, though, I think, like Asim says, they clearly didn't. They underestimated how bad the console versions were. They obviously have a focus on PC, and that's where their time was. They put all of their focus in PC. Okay, this is it. This is the PC game. Yeah, PC. Okay, what about the consoles? Yeah, they're fine. It's consoles. It's PC. You know, it's like, yeah, no, but have you actually looked at the consoles? Did I need to? You do realise the console truck has just left. It'll be fine. Shit.
The thing is with the pre-orders nowadays, just touching on that, they make pre-orders. Pre-orders have been glamorized because you get extra stuff rather than just going to the store and buying the game. Like having extra stuff on the disc or as a little leaflet on the inside. Like the pre-order stuff comes with other things. So, like, it may be, I don't know, £2 more or whatever it is, but if you pre-order this game, you're getting this edition of the game. So you kind of already giving people a route to go down. It's not as if, like, you're just securing a copy of the game. 9 times out of 10 now, a pre-order version of a game comes with extra shit, whether or not it be digital items, a poster to go on the wall, or whatever the fuck. But there's always something to try and glamorize you giving your money earlier than you would do if it came out on release day. So, yeah, I agree that they're trying to secure the money at early doors, but they're also trying to say, well, if you want this version, get it day one or maybe a day before, who knows? But just pay this, and then we can get it. You can have something extra that other people may not have because they're at the store and bought it rather than pre-ordering it over the internet. I don't know, but people will always try different ways to try and secure your money before you end up getting know how much they can forecast how much they're going to be making from this game.
Yeah, exactly. It helps with their forecasting, plus it guarantees sales before price drops. A game comes out and it's 60 quid or 70 quid as it's going to be now. But 3 months down the line, it's suddenly 40 quid, 30 quid, 20 quid. You might get it 15 quid in the spectacular sale or whatever. But if you pre-order it, you get it at full RRP. So that obviously helps the brands. It helps with their forecasting, helps keep the business running smoothly so they can make the next Cyberpunk or whatever. Which it's not a bad thing in that sense. There's definitely a good side to that. But yeah. Just taking those sales for granted, as has happened here from the higher ups with the console side of the audience, is just I mean, I imagine a lot of people may go, okay, do you know what? There's no point. I'll just sit and I'm not going to pre-order because that was a horrendous example. If there's a game over the last 18 months that you could have put your eggs in a basket on being solid, you would have said it was Cyberpunk. Before April. After April, you may have started to have a bit, okay, it's been delayed. Is it going to be great? But before April, you would have put your house on Cyberpunk being the success that we all hoped it would be. I'm going to pick up the pace in the chat though now because the chat is moving pretty fast. I learn from past mistakes. Usually look forward to the Division 2, Anthem, and Marvel's Avengers. Yes, I'm a loot whore. I actually wasn't hyped about Cyberpunk2077. To be honest, my love of video games is waning as everything I look forward to is disappointing, says Tito. It's all right. We can still criticise you all for you. It's fine. I'm joking. We do a little bit more than criticising. A little bit, not much, but a little bit. Mr. T says, we live in a society where people will happily dump on people or companies, rightly so if they do something wrong, but look past the bit where they want to or look to put it right. Gary says, that's not me dumping on them at all. I'm genuinely not sure what they've done that makes them so prosumer compared to another company. If you break it down, then no company is pro-consumer. They ultimately care about the money. That's what I mean. So many are saying they are prosumer when none of them really are. I mean, they're businesses. They are businesses. in the same way that I will say that EA aren't anti-consumer. Everyone will go, yeah, but they're anti-consumer. They're not. They care about their profits. They care about their consumers, but they also have a shitload of pressure on them to make incredible profits as well. So no company is evil, but they aren't necessarily just there to love you only. They're there to make money, just like we all are in essence. I heard a statement from the CD Projekt Red CEO saying something like, "The cost of fixing our game is irrelevant to the compared to the cost in our image lost." To be fair, that doesn't surprise me, and I don't read that as a horrendous sort of ego thing. I see that from a realism standpoint. I mean, the cost of fixing the game is irrelevant compared to the image lost. I mean, it could cost them 20 million to fix the game now, but I mean, their reputation was incredible coming into this. And I just mentioned EA without even seeing this comment. EA have a reputation of being a money greedy, grabby, nasty company, and they're just a company. They are just a company that makes video games, but they have that image. Their image has been tarnished, and CD Projekt Red's image has been tarnished now. It'll take a lot more than 20 million to fix 20 million's worth of tarnishing.
We don't even know how much the refunds are going to cost, and the refunds may end up costing them 30 million.
Yeah, exactly. 50 million, 100 million. I'm just throwing random figures out there. 2.1 million, maybe a bit more. I wonder how Keanu Reeves feels, because this is going to affect his image of being a good guy and a fan-friendly person, as well as being so closely tied to the game. I don't think it will. Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
He's an actor. He's a paid actor to be in the game. It's absolutely balls on to do. It's not as if he's been in the production suite and helping out and stuff like that. The guy's an actor. He's done mocap and voice acting for the game. If people are going after Keanu Reeves for this, that is bullshit. It's like films. Someone could have the best acting role in the film ever, but it might just not do very well. Like, that's not the actor's fault. That might be the marketing. That might be. I have no idea. But if anyone's giving shit for Keanu for this, that's
all Keanu Reeves needs to do is sit on a train and eat a sandwich, and that's it. The internet will forgive him for everything. Keanu Reeves is eating a train. It would go nice. Eating a sandwich on a train. Oh, it's so nice, and that's it. Oh, it's Keanu Reeves. Or just say you're breathtaking, and that's it. And then yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine. Ultimately, they got it wrong. The leadership, that is horribly wrong. They deserve the shitstorm they're getting. It'll hurt them financially. How much we'll see. That said, playing devil's advocate, if you want to call it that, they have said they will put it right. For me, they also need to be given the chance to do that. There's a lot of trust to build up. Again, long road, but call me naive. I think they will do all they can do to get there. I hope they do. I genuinely hope they do. I think they will do, because you don't become the second, not even the second. They may be the second now, but they were the richest video game developer in Europe. Or I don't know if richest is the right word exactly, but you get the point. They were very profitable, and you don't get there by being lucky or making the wrong decisions or not looking after your audiences, and they've done that very, very well up until now. So it's fashionable to stick the boot in, and it's absolutely deserved to stick the boot in, 100%. But I agree with Asim's sentiment there that they will fix it. It won't be great now, and they'll probably, if they can happily churn out that messaging of people aren't willing to wait for updates, then expect them to make more mistakes between now and it being fixed. If they can do that, I think that's very possible. But they will fix it. It will be fixed. I don't have any doubt in that. Chappers says Cyberpish. They turned a poor performance PC version of Witcher 3 into a game that it is today. I'm sure they will again. The flip side is that they shouldn't have been put into the same position again. I agree. 100% nailing it on the head there, Mr. Magic Man. Morning, gents. Good morning, Bonsai. How's things, dude? How's that level 100 M16? Show off. Pirate redeemed Discord light. So did it. Okay. There you go. Enjoy. Anyone listening to the audio podcast?
Disco noises as well.
There you go. I think when the game is in a better state and PS5, Xbox Series X update is out, they will make the first two inevitable story DLC. I think The Witcher 3 did. Okay, they're going to make DLC story bits for free. I get you. That will start the road to build trust. And that'd be a good decision, because that people want the something extra, something more, and people clearly still will have the itch that needs scratching from the Cyberpunk side of things. So if you got, okay, well, before you were just going to scratch an itch, now you got to scratch the itch. People are like, okay, we'll take that. So the game is really good, but as I said, it should be a warning for cross-gen games. Why I want Halo to ditch the one. I mean, but just ditch Halo. It's fine. Nobody really wants to play that anyway. Get rid. There's no point. No point. No point. No point. Sorry. Jordan has a Halo tattoo. Sorry, I just had to say it. I'd say, all right, calm down. Anyway, we're now finally caught up to the bit where Tharian Drake is in the chat, although he's probably gone by now. But hey, what's good, lads? How's things, Tharian Drake? Are you good? That's the problem with the consoles, though. The market is too big to ditch, so you have cross-generational development, which inevitably ends up pitching at the lowest denominator. When do you get the best out of the latest gen console hardware with exclusive development for the latest generation only? Exactly. But my memory can't recall the command. Exclamation mark, raid hype. Hey, Bibby got there already, I think it was. On a lighter note, even Metal Gear Survive didn't get pulled from the PS Store, and that was shite. Mr. T. Bibby liked it.
See, that's where we differ in opinions. Yeah, that was about to say. That shows how the shit kind of games that I'm into, but I actually really enjoyed that base building game. As I said, I've said it so long, if it wasn't called Metal Gear, if it didn't have Metal Gear in the title and it was something generic, I think it would have done a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm not a base builder person, so the game has always lost on me. But because it had a lot of the stabilities of Metal Gear Solid 5, it was a decent base builder game underneath. It's not a Metal Gear game for me. Even though it has the title, like Bibby says, take the title away and put that as something else. It's not. It probably won't have sold as much. I don't know if it actually sold enough, but it probably won't have sold as much because the title Metal Gear Survive will carry it. But for base builders, if you'd have just put that as a new base builder in the base builder categories, it'd have probably sold well as a base builder. Maybe not market.
Graphically, it looks amazing, I thought.
But and that's the benefits of all of the Metal Geariness that came with it. So that's the deal with the devil.
Graham, I need to leave.
No,
the Corona guy should come.
No, it's fine. We'll sit here for another 25 minutes. Do you know what? Yeah, okay. Do you want to dip and then as soon as actually, no. Yeah, okay. We'll just wrap it up. We are an hour into it, so we'll just wrap things up. I'm going to say we do have a few other stories. Do you know? Actually, no. Go on. You dip, and then I'll just finish off the other stories then.
Cause... Maybe back in time before the end of the show, so maybe back. But yeah, I'm getting my bloods and everything tested, so I will shoot because the geezer's there.
All right.
All right.
In a bit.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh. And then there was one. Hey, the dollop with just me. Although I'm going to keep Bibby there rather than move me into the centre of the screen because he could be back. Jumping back through the chat though, where did we get to? Still better than Contra, says Magic Man. Oof. Shade being thrown left, right and centre now. Tharian Drake says, I was just doing some drawing, had a very early morning having to wake up to show Season 6 of Conqueror's Blade with the other content creators. And hopefully that went good for you. The D&D campaign has been super fun so far. Enix says only good pre-order I did this year was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Was that flawless at the beginning, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or was there any issues to begin with on that one? Mr. T says pre-orders are metrics for the suits to see how much money they will make. Nothing beyond that, really. Micah says, hi, hey, good morning. Stop blaming consumers for pre-orders. It's their job to release a working and complete game. I agree with that. Madge says, buying game and selling game items real money in Diablo 3 launch until the community lambasted them to remove it. Yeah, get out of here. No place for that. Thomas Adams says, I don't see how with the updates they're going to make it better with updates on base PS4. I was playing on PS5 and still textures and crashing was an issue. I mean, there's a lot of improvements that can be done in terms of... Actually, let me change screens. Let's go into this screen. There. And then bring that up. There's no point having the box from Bib being there. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of optimizing that can be done. I imagine that's where they've probably not spent enough time. So in terms of, obviously, they might be at the limits of what they can have on screen in terms of. Did you see there was a meme going around and it was like the Jurassic Park theme tune and it showed you Cyberpunk at E3 and it's like and then it cut to like a streamer playing it on the PS4 and it went to like you get the Titanic played on the recorder, then you got Jurassic Park played on the recorder. It's like and there was like 3 people walking around, really low quality polygons and things like that. Okay, that could either be it's maxed out and they can't get any more out of it, or it could be, and I kind of think maybe there's a bit of both, but the second being that they've just not optimized it enough. They've put it in their own words and said that they haven't put enough time into the PS4 and the Xbox One performance. So I imagine there's a lot of optimization in terms of quality of life, in terms of performance upgrades that they can do on the PS4, on the Xbox One X and One S, PS4 Pro particularly, obviously, that will improve the way that the game plays and looks overall. I imagine there's a lot they can do there. They just haven't put the effort into it. And not only am I saying that, but I mean, what was it like about 2 months ago? Maybe not even that long, maybe a month ago, there was some updates that came out to existing PlayStation games, and that came as a result of working on the next gen software. That was it. Like The Last of Us loading times had been dropped down by half, and there was a few other games in there. I can't quite put my finger on all of them now, but a number of games had been optimized with the learnings from building for the next gen software to get more out of them. So that, yeah, I believe there is a lot more that they could get out of that. Whether it's PC equaling, probably not. But they can do a lot for the base consoles before we jump onto the 5 and the Series X. Or at least that's my opinion anyway. We'll see. We will see. No next gen update yet, but I think they should prop last gen and hope other games do, if their game is really pushing next gen visuals, put it cross gen. Oh, the phone is going crazy. You need to rename the show the Cyber Scoop. We do, clearly do. If I get Cyberpunk, it won't be until I have the new Series X. Probably a safe shout for now. Hold off for now. No rush, don't rush. Before April, Final Fantasy VII Remake would have been the only one for me. It runs great on PS5, crashes a lot, Series X and S and some X. Okay, I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. Steel Bonsai says, I'll stick to playing PUBG. Even with the bugs, it adds more fun to the game. I mean, that's the thing though. Bugs can be quite refreshing. if it's a bug, like something that's fleeting. Oh, we just lost Baby. We're still in the call, but it's gone now. But if it's fleeting, a bug can be fun. Like flying around in Spider-Man Remastered or Spider-Man Miles Morales as a fridge or a bin or whatever it was we saw the other week. Something like that. Oh, okay, that's nice. It's fun, but it's a break from the norm. If the norms are bugged, then that's when it starts to become a little bit of a problem. Anyway, I'll pick up the pace. Keep going through the chat so we can keep on. Steel Bonza said nothing on him. Keanu is a class act. If people are attacking him, then they are stupid. Exactly. Chappers says Keanu eats trains. Extra. Oh God damn it. Keanu can ride a sandwich. Easy Tiger. That sounds. Whew. That's like going after the lighting assistant because Matrix 4 wasn't great. Well, yeah. I mean, someone needs to go after Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions because they weren't great. I loved Survive. Me and Bibby have great taste in shit games. Plum Rico, good morning, dude. Welcome in. Konami seem to really like slapping IPs onto games that aren't really related. Yeah, it's. I want to say a proven business practice. There is a logical business stance for doing that in certain essences. It's not necessarily flawless though, because you can get yourself sales by piggybacking off a brand, but you can also tarnish a brand by doing that. So yeah, take care, baby. Binbe. Textures, etc. Okay, if Baby gets back before this ends and you don't put him on a shelf, it will be a sad time. The thing is though, we don't really have a shelf. I did have like this scene, but like, yeah, there's no shelf, and you can see where Bibby's face should be, but yeah, there's no shelfiness. Never believe game trailers from expos. We all remember Watch Dogs. That's true. Puddles and stuff, yeah, nice. Or what was that actually? What's that Watch Dogs? I don't know, can't remember. We all know by now that they will always generate trailers on high-end PCs. Yeah, I mean, I think trailers and stuff, I don't mind. My issue is when you see gameplay. And even if gameplay is on a PC, I don't mind that either. But as long as it's got that gameplay like filmed on a PS5 environment on a PC, okay, I could take it with a pinch. I know that I've got to take that with a pinch, but maybe that's because I'm in the industry and I know that I take that with a pinch. Some people may not. They may see that as, okay, that's exactly how the game is definitely 100% gonna play. This has not been polished whatsoever. If that's the case, then yeah, maybe I'm the wrong. I'm preaching to the converted. I understand that that's not what the game might be like, but yeah, I don't know. I always take things with a little bit of a pinch. Then King, how do I say this? King Nimin? King Namin? Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Apologies for butchering your name as well. All the WWE 2K20 glitches. Funniest shit ever, that. Exactly. You tell me you aren't computer savvy enough to have a fake shelf as well as a fake baby on a shelf. Do you know what? I am computer savvy enough. I just hadn't thought of it. But now you've mentioned it. All gameplay trailers say this is not actual gameplay footage. So annoying. Gameplay reveal trailer for Valhalla. And it's still all CGI. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, should we move ahead? Let's move ahead. Let me see where we can go to next. Okay, we'll go with this one, because this one is kind of unsurprising. We're talking about games selling exceptionally well. Actually, do I have a Chrome option on here? I do. Yes, nice. Okay, this news article is written by Tom Ivan for VGC, and it says, Nintendo and Sony shares hit highs not seen since the Wii and PS2 eras. Companies riding high on strong pre-Christmas console sales. Nintendo and Sony shares have reached highs not seen in over a decade following strong console sales in the run up to Christmas. Switch maker Nintendo recorded its biggest ever gain in over a year in Tokyo on Thursday, Bloomberg reports, and shares in the House of Mario jumped 6.6% to reach their highest level since December 2007, the same month Wii Fit and the Wii Balance Board debuted in Japan. Riding high following the PlayStation 5 launch last month, Sony also surpassed the 10,000 yen per share mark for the first time since 2001, the year after PS2 hit the market. In a statement published in November, Sony suggested PS5 had enjoyed the biggest console launch in history after beating the PS4's record. However, Nintendo's Switch was the highest selling console in the United States, Europe, and Japan last month. Last month, full stop. Capcom and Koei Tecmo also hit record highs in Tokyo on Thursday. Investors have their attention toward game makers amid the recent coronavirus spread and the upcoming Christmas season, Ryuta Otsuka, a strategist at Toyo Securities, told Bloomberg. In an interview published this week, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser, just want to stop for a second as well and point this out. I know everyone knows, but the president of Nintendo being called Bowser, I know everyone knows it, but still, what a name. In an interview published this week, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser played down reports that the company is planning to launch a new Switch Pro console, but suggested it could improve the system's Joy-Con controllers to mitigate the prominent drifting effect. So, not really much to share on that one. I mean, it's kind of... let's get rid of the discussion now. It kind of makes sense. Nintendo and Sony are operating at record profits. Their share prices are incredibly high because we are all stuck at home. Let me just change my lighting. There we go. We're all stuck at home. We need things to do. Video games are things that we can do. We're all sat here talking about video games right now. So it's not a surprise that Nintendo and Sony's shares are skyrocketing because, I mean, who can buy a PS5? Nobody. They are all literally out of stock. Everything Sony makes is sold. You can probably pick up a Switch now, but go back 6 months and you couldn't. It was the same situation. Birdbot, or whatever it was called back then, not Crep Chief Notify now for PS5s, but that was doing the bot scammer scalper thing for Switches back then. So absolutely not surprising. So scalpers are really good for big business, but horrendous for anyone that just wants to get a Christmas present for their loved one without being absolutely fleeced. But there you go. Can you imagine a car advert with a render of a different car, an album trailer playing different music, a film with different footage? It's like TVs. I always find TV advertisements. That's the funny one for me. Is get the brand new 8K TV, and it's like that's got to be the most complex thing ever. If someone sat there watching TV on a 1080p screen, how do you sell the benefit of 8K through a 1080 screen? It's yeah, you just can't. You just have to go, this looks so much better, but you can't see it. Like, the only way you'd get that sort of stuff in store is by having a crap TV next to a really good TV, which you tend to get if you go into a Curry's or something. If they have a really expensive TV, they will usually make the settings on the cheaper TV, even though it might still be 4K, they'll make it look shit, but then they'll turn the settings up to like full vibrance on the one next to it and go, ha, 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 to sell. That's fine when you've got two TVs side by side, but when you're selling to someone on a TV, how can you sell 4K and 8K imagery when the images are stuck at 720 or 1080? Let me close this. Anyway, let's move forward. We do have know who's Magic Man says, know whose shares are not skyrocketing? CD Projekt Red. Whoopa! Whoopa! The Nintendo Switch had sold out at the shops near me, so I had to travel to one further out to get one for my daughter. I mean, we have one. We got one like last year before, so we didn't have a rush to get one. Not that we play it very often. Our Switch is now pretty much just a portable Fortnite device. So whenever Chloe needs to play Fortnite, if we're nipping out somewhere or she's staying out, she'll take the Switch to play Fortnite on it, and that's about it. But it is a good device. Things like Luigi's Mansion, quality game. Still didn't finish it. Need to go back and finish it. But yeah, really, really good console. But yeah, if you were after a Switch earlier this year, you couldn't get one, just like people can't get hold of Series X's and Series S's and PS5s now because they were in demand, supply and demand. People got absolutely fleeced for it. Yeah, that's what we are. Do you know what? Let's move on, though. Let's keep talking about products that you, as gamers, absolutely want to buy. And I mean, you can say that you're not interested. I won't believe you. I will not believe you. This next product, you absolutely 100%. If you haven't got it under your Christmas tree, by the end of this article, you will have. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, pretty much setting the new market. As Patrick Dane at VG247 says, Game asks if you want to smell of gamers. The public immediately complies. So Game has made it possible for you to smell like video games. What do video games smell like? A freshly opened disc copy certainly has a pleasing plasticky aroma, but what about the concept of video games? What would someone... or what would you want someone to walk up to you and say? You smell like a video game. Well, now you can have that experience if for some ungodly reason you wanted to. UK retailer Game has turned heads with two newly released products on its store. It's decided to create a new line of unisex fragrances just for gamers. Both are a lot to take in, and that's not just because of the smell. The first is a Mario-inspired scent. It's called the Diploma. And has an interesting mix of deep, earthy notes of toadstool, balanced with high notes of peach and daisy, and mid-tones of grasslands. It's less clear if this is to make it smell good, or just to hit as many puns as possible. The second smell has a little more bloodlust. FPS, which stands for First Person Scent, which usually is how it works, has been designed to evoke Call of Duty and other shooters, bringing a blend of smells that we can't imagine you'd normally chase in a fragrance. The scent is said to have undertones of napalm, with bouncy, high tones of watermelon and cigars. FPS can be best described as so powerful your nostrils will wave white flags. That is supposed to be good. Probably. Do you want to smell like either of these? Well, too bad. The fragrances are already sold out. Boo! While they are listed for $19.99 for a 200ml bottle, both appear to be out of stock. It seems that these fragrances might be harder to come by than a next-gen console a week before Christmas. What the fuck? It's not clear if Game has any plans to restock these, or if this is a one-off goof. Do you know what? There you go. I apologise. I built you up and you can't even buy them. They're out of stock. But, yeah, so, thoughts in the chat. Who wants to smell like a gamer? Just let us know. Just let us know. We keeping you up, Graham? Yeah, you are. The reason I am up, actually. So there. But I can't smell anything at the moment. Yeah, snap. So yeah, I'll take it. Gary says, well, this is odd. I don't want to smell like a sewer-dwelling, mushroom-gobbling plumber who wrestles dinosaur turtle dragons. Do you know, I'm not going to go for the easy pun. Don't. Leave it. We dodged it. Too late. Ah, no. God. Sorry, it came out. Tried. Smell like a gamer? Go to any mid to large size convention and see how much you'll sell then. Exactly. Eau de cologne. Well, aren't we all gamers and already smell like it? I could smell of mushroomy foistiness. I mean, I don't know. I definitely. I mean, the idea of buying this as say Christmas present, like I don't know, a Secret Santa-y sort of colleague-y thing. Like if I could buy Bibby something like that as a bit of Christmas banter, yeah. But for $19.99 for a 200ml bottle, that's pretty expensive, right? For crap, it's basically coloured water. That is expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it's a joke, but it's still an expensive joke. I mean, $4.99, you kind of expect that kind of stuff at a push, but $19.99. I mean, well, clearly not, because they've sold out. They've sold every single bottle that Game have of both brands, so maybe not. What do I know? Asim, get out. I will, but smelling like a gamer. Yeah, I hope they don't release a Gamescom smell. See, I never thought Gamescom was smelly. Oh, did I? Maybe I was just... No, it was the heat. It was the heat that got me at Gamescom. Maybe I was too snobby and I kept going back to the business area. I didn't stick around the horde long enough, but it was the heat that always did me. They sold out because Shogun Ash and Gary Clark bought them. Smelling of mushrooms? Magic! Hey! Gar's rapping right now. Might improve the smell of someone that's been gaming for 12 hours. I don't know. Now a Dr. Disrespect fragrance that I can back, says Magic Man. I'll take that. The 2-time. Although he did have just get Old Spice. That's all you need. Dr. Disrespect's Old Spice. Nice. It stunk. Mouth breathers. Maybe I was mouth breathing. I couldn't smell anything. Or maybe I did. Maybe I've just conditioned myself to forget about it. Gamescom was grim walking to the business centre. It was always the heat. That's what did me most. You're either stuck inside where there's just all the people, so there's the heat, or you go outside and it was like Cologne on the Costa del Sol. My nose has already waved the white flag. I've used the toilet after my dad. I think of Raiders of the Lost Ark with the melting Nazi, and that's how I felt. Too much information. TMI. Anyway, we do have one more story, and thankfully it doesn't stink as badly as that one. It's actually pretty sweet, is this last story. It is if you're a PC gamer anyway. If you're a PC gamer, then you will know that we often tell you about the free games that are coming to the Epic Games Store, and it happens pretty often, usually at least once a week. Anyway, there is a good Christmas campaign ongoing. I think it started last night, actually. It did, actually, because I downloaded City Skyline, but I'll jump into that in just a second. There's this article from Tom Ivan at VGC that says the Epic Games Store has launched its 15 free games promotion. A new game will be given away every day until December the 31st. So if you have Epic Games Launcher on your PC, open it up right now, you will have a free game sat there right now. The Epic Games Store has launched a promotion which will see it give away one free title every day from December 17th to the 31st. Announced last week, the free games giveaway begins with Cities Skylines, which normally costs $26.99, but is currently free to download until 4 p.m. UK time on December the 18th. So that means you have 4 hours and 22 minutes left to get Cities Skyline for free. If not, it'll probably go back to $26.99. At that point, it will be replaced by another title. Epic is also expected to launch its holiday sale on Thursday, which will include discounts of up to 75%. The Epic Games Store has been giving away free games on a weekly basis since the storefront launched in December 2018. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney claimed earlier this year that the promotion has caused sales to increase for developers who participate, and people have discovered a lot of great games that way, he told GameSpot. It's been a benefit for game developers. Most developers who launched their games for free on the store found that their sales on Steam and on console platforms actually increased after they went on Epic because of increased awareness, and so it's been a really positive thing, and it's brought tens of millions of new users into the Epic Games ecosystem, and that's been a wonderful thing for the company. Epic launched Fortnite chapters. Okay, we don't need to know about Fortnite, that's just a tangent. But do you know what? That's good to see. So you may have been around for a previous episode of The Scoop where we spoke about Game Pass. I mean, you may have heard of it, we may have mentioned it. So obviously, Microsoft's Game Pass, the best deal in gaming. We've spoke about how is it financially viable for the company long term? I mean, we still don't know on that. But we had conversations around, is it financially viable for the companies that want to put their games onto Game Pass? Is that going to earn them enough money? And there was communication from, I think it was maybe Phil Spencer, if not one of the guys who work on Game Pass specifically at Xbox, said that if a game lands on Game Pass, yes, you aren't selling it anymore. Not in that period, but you are seeing basically more marketing, more people playing it equals more conversations around it. If you go to the office and start talking about, oh, I'm playing Gears 5, it came out on Game Pass on day one and I'm loving it, and I don't have Game Pass, but they're loving it and I want to get involved, that either pushes me towards Game Pass or it pushes me towards buying the game. And the latter one actually happened quite a bit. A lot of people were just taking their friends' recommendations and went out and bought games as normal. So seeing that is actually happening on the Epic Game Store is pretty good information in terms of, okay, just giving games away doesn't necessarily mean that you've killed it. It could have secondary benefits where word of mouth just means that people grant the extra exposure needed to sell your game even more. So nice. But if you have a PC, make sure you have the Epic Games Launcher installed because there is 15 games coming. I did see an image. I was going to talk through this today, but I'm hearing rumors that it's fake. So there was a list of what the Epic the 15 games are that are free, but I'm hearing shitloads of news that is fake. I will go through it anyway, just so that we can pull the rumor apart. But these are the games. Actually, before I do that, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me on the daily Epic Game giveaway. You are welcome, Madge. Sounds good. I have nothing else to play anyway. Great, my laptop can't run it. Boo. Well, hopefully there might be something else in here. This list, there's no way this list can be real. Surely. But let's have a look. So these are the 15 free games on Epic Games, one per day. So Dying Light, 17th of the 12th. Well, clearly that's wrong because City Skyline was the first one. But then this list, then obviously look at the size of the names in here. Resident Evil 7, The Witcher 3, Mass Effect Andromeda, Assassin's Creed Origins, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Evil Within 2, Far Cry 5, Fallout 4, Borderlands 3, Monster Hunter Worlds, Dragon Age, Inquisition, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and Hitman 2. I mean, there is some huge games in there, so that would be amazing if it was real. And the reason it caught my eye, though, is the fact that I'd seen someone had pulled that list together, and then I'd seen this, which is the exact same list, but in a different format. So because other people had shared it in different styles, I thought, okay, well, it has a little bit more authenticity to it, but they could still all be riffing off the same bullshit source in the first place. So take it with a massive pinch. I don't think it is real that is the list. Some of those games could be on it, but do you know what? maybe we don't look. Maybe we just check Epic every single day at 4 p.m. UK time and then see what the next free game is. And just hopefully we'll get something nice to play over the time. There is something good within there, though. If you remember last Christmas, and I think they've done it regularly throughout, Epic have a £10 voucher. You spend, I think, £14, £15, I think it is, and you get a £10 voucher. When you spend that £10 voucher, your £15 transaction goes down to £5, but then you get another £10 voucher. So basically, you're always saving 10 quid off as long as you spend enough for the qualifying purchase. And I think things like Star Wars Squadrons is like 21 quid. But if you use your £10 voucher, it goes down to like 11 quid, which is actually a really decent bargain. So if you're looking for some games to play and you've got a PC, then, you know, Epic Games is not a bad place to look this Christmas. You can save yourself some money. So there you go. And that is all said without even the slightest hint of spawn or hashtag ad. But Epic, if you do want to spawn an ad, then hit your boy. Did you see the typo they made? Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't. Let's see. Yes, good old bit of horizon. I mean, that is just like an iPhone note or something with an emoji in it. So it doesn't surprise me that there's typos in there. I'm surprised there's no other typos in there as well, actually. But Horizon, yes, good old Horizon. 15 nopes for my laptop. and okay. Didn't the last rumoured list turn out to be 60% correct? It did. That said, the last rumoured list went far and wide, so this could just be someone else that thinks it's fun to create their own list. Oh, God. There's a meme, though. Let's have a look at this meme. On screen. There we go. Logging on to Epic Games now after seeing the leaks about free games.
What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's when you're expecting one game and you get something else. So yeah, when you're expecting Dying Light and you get City Skyline, there you go. Although City Skyline's supposedly a decent game, so there you go. Shut your mouth. Didn't the last room? Oh, actually, yeah, Magic Man. That's an even better typo from you. What typo? Did you see the typo they made? Horizon Zero Down. I didn't even see the down. Did it say? I didn't even notice the down. Wow, I thought it was Horizon, which it should be, but I didn't even notice that. Horizon Zero Down. That's incredible. Jeez. I was like, is it Horizon? I didn't even notice the down. Anyway, on that note, I think I should wrap things up and clearly past being useful at this point. We are an hour and 35 minutes into the scoop as well, though, so yeah, we picked up the pace. Unsurprisingly, we spent the majority of the show talking about Cyberpunk 2077 because that's just the way it is. Let me give you a quick recap, though. Cyberpunk has been pulled from the PS Store, so if you want to play Cyberpunk on the PlayStation, you can do. It is still available and is still going to be supported, at least physically. The digital edition for now has been shelved and could return at some point in the future. If you want to smell like a gamer, then Game has you covered. They have two weird fragrances available to buy. Oh, well, they don't. They've sold out. They may come back in stock. Just leave it. As well as that, Nintendo and Sony are having ridiculously good years. Their share prices are hitting the Wii and PS2 eras, so GG's for those guys. And the Epic Game Store says GG to you guys by giving you 15 free games, one game per day for the next 15 days. So make sure you log on your PC and check out what the free games are as they roll out. The list that has been leaked says some big names, but unlikely. There's got to be some indie stuff mixed in and amongst that, but we will see over the next couple of weeks. This is it for the scoop and for scheduled stream content this week. There will be no episode of Masters of the League today because we're getting set to close down for Christmas. We could potentially be back with more content next week, though. We just need to finalise what our schedule is. So if you want to keep up, as Pirate has just dropped in the chat, !socials will give you the link to all of our social channels. Twitter particularly is where we tend to put out news about when we are going live or changes to schedules and so on. So check us out on Twitter if you haven't already. That is where you can keep up to date with when we're going to go live. And not nice. We will. Oh. Actually, let me just jump back here. Sounds like. Is he going to answer? He's answering. Oh.
Oh, hey.
Hey! Let's get it full screen. There we go. He's back. He's back. Just in time. Just in time for me to wrap things up.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no, he's not. Where's Discord? The video. There we go. Oh, he's gone again. Bye, babe. I don't know where he went.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Don't know where you went then. I could hear you. I was talking to you, but then you just disappeared.
He was like, hello? And I was like, hello, hello. Oh, where's he gone? And then I thought, oh shit, he's fallen to bits. So,
no,
yeah.
No, it was on my screen. I was like, he's gone in terms of because I've taken your camera off kind of thing.
Come back.
And for those of you that looked at the screen then, you could see me and Bibby sharing old insert coin images with different t-shirts and styles that we like. So there you go. We've got our Bibby back, Rebs. So yeah, babe, just saying, did you know that if you want to smell like a gamer, you can just rock up at game and you can get Eau de Plumber or FPS, a first person scent?
I mean, it's pretty. The FPS one, I quite like the name of it. I mean, to be fair, they've been named adequately. I quite like both of those.
So yeah, enjoy Christmas, babe. That's literally all you've got. Just
that's fine. I mean, it's more than I've had this year. So yeah, enjoy Christmas.
And then the other bits were Nintendo, Sony are smashing it as you'd expect, and the Epic Games Store has got 15 free games. Have you downloaded or purchased City Skyline?
Did we just become best
I most certainly have. Did it this morning. As soon as when I was pulling the news, I seen that and I was like, "Ooh!" I thought you already had it, but it wasn't in my library. So yeah, that's nice. I do like games like that every now and again.
There was a list. Did you see the list? The rumored list of games that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
No, I didn't actually. Was it on the article?
No, it was basically bullshit. I will
okay.
share you the link to a tweet that has it. The one that I've just had in the chat.
Well, there's going to be a lot of shit on there, isn't there? Let's be honest. I mean, it's not going to be all AAA games. There's going to be some duff indie games.
That's the issue. This is all like good games. Dying Light, Resident Evil 7, The Witcher 3, Mass Effect Andromeda, Assassin's Creed Origins. There's no way that is just going to be the list, surely. Especially the fact that yesterday's game, Dying Light, was actually City Skyline. So one for one is wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, fucking world-class games on there, to be fair.
I mean, it would be nice to take all those games, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But anyway, we are going to disappear. That was the end of it. I was wrapping things up, and then Bibby came back just to say hi and then bye. So there you go. Hey. Gary does say, though, Bibby, give us a song. Bibby, give us a song.
I can't. I've not got any more hits. I mean, Fuck You Ferno was the only one that I've written this year, and that took a long time to write. But maybe I'll learn something over Christmas, first day back, and we can have a nice little sing-a-song along.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, then Pirate says, Bibby, give us a wave. Bibby, give us a wave.
I'll give you a wave. I'll give you a flex.
Outrage says, oi, how's things? Welcome in. How's your day going? We are just wrapping up here, but nice to see you.
And the presents with the follow as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Thank you very much, dude. A minute ago. Thank you very much. There's only one human jelly. Only human jelly. Walking along, singing a song. Walking in with the wonderland. I have decided that if you are done for Christmas or if you're back on Monday yet. We haven't decided yet. We're going to have those conversations. Monday may not be a go, but we may have some other ones next week. Yeah. But we will let you know. As mentioned, just check out the social media links, which Pirate did paste in already. So if you check out Twitter in particular, we'll give you an update on schedules and stuff next week. But there will be some content coming over Christmas. We just need to decide on what and when. So yeah, nice. Anyway, before we disappear, babe, seeing as you're back freshly and sprightly, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not it's going to be relevant. But if you do want to get involved with the show, then there's a couple of ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social medias, which Pirate has very kindly already posted in there. But for those of you that are listening to this on audio podcast or on YouTube later on, find us, Ice Cream Uploads, across all major social media platforms. Or if you just want to get a hold of us directly, there's obviously the ways that you can do that is we've got Rubinho on Twitter or at Graham_Day on Twitter also. But if you want to keep up with the conversations, then the best place to be able to do that is find us in our Discord. We've got areas all over there for you to be able to talk about your football manager team, talk about Pro Evo, FIFA, or you just want to get some friends and play with them on Fortnite, then there's an area over on the Discords for you to be able to do all of that. There's also available for the Scoop, but I don't think that's relevant for this if we're not doing a show next week. But yeah, just put your thoughts and impressions along with the URL. We can discuss it on there, even if it doesn't make it to air. But if it was to go live on Monday, what time, Mr. Graham Day, would we be going live?
10 a.m.
Ish.
Always the ish.
Big issues.
Big issue. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Almost back. We're almost back to normal, just in time for Christmas. Yay! Nice. So have yourselves a fantastic day. If we don't see you on Monday, we'll probably see you before Christmas. And if we don't, if for some reason we don't, have yourselves a lovely Christmas, and we will see you next time. Your notifications will let you know whenever we go live, by the way, just saying. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic time, and stay frosty.
Stay frosty!